talking to Max, and he was just kind of expressing obviously the immediate scare, but now knowing that it's the bone bruise, just what was your reaction to last night? You expressed that you were feeling optimistic, but now knowing that it's not worst case scenario and there is hope that he will be returning this season, just kind of what was your reaction and processing area?
After taking all the information, very relieved. I think that I spared myself and didn't watch the replay. And so I think that, yeah, we're optimistic. It's I think Max said it's probably going to be 6 weeks, something like that. We don't know. I mean, I think it's all kind of contingent on how he recovers, speed of recovery, no structural damage, which was huge. And so you got to sort of, obviously, an impact like that, there's some moving of the knee and things around the knee. So that's kind of the bone bruise and all that stuff, that kind of the healing part of it is going to take time. But just to know that he's going to be back for a good part of the back end of the season and beyond is very, we're very relieved.
What does this mean for third base, just going forward?
Yeah, I think that obviously I've got Miggy Rowe playing third base tonight. Kike will play third tomorrow. I think we're going to start getting Tommy Edman to take some balls at third base. And he's done it, I think, in 19 and 20 maybe. And so to get him over there, it'll give continue to give Haesong some runway at second base versus right-handed pitching. And then versus left-handed pitching, then obviously Kike or Miggy Rowe will be over there. So that's kind of how it is right now.
If your team is a game or two better in the win-loss percentage, bigger lead in the standings than you were at this time last year, and you remember last year worked out pretty well. Does that mean anything? And do you want to have milestones that you want to hit, like July 1st we want to be here, August 1st we want to be here?
No. I think that's hard to chase as far as kind of the win-loss. I think for me, it's you just sort of just kind of look at each day separately and just try to win as many games as possible. Yeah, I mean, we've had some things to go through, but we've managed it, I think, really well. And there's still a lot of baseball left. But as far as kind of markers and things like that, I would say the only thing is, you sort of want to get out to a good start. You want to finish going into the break strong, get guys back healthy, enjoy the break, and then kind of come off good to kind of ride that to the end of the season. So that's sort of probably what I look at, kind of overarching.
But also there's not a lot of teams have up and down, like a great year and then they struggle.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We're very consistent. We don't do that. I think that there's a we have guys out there doing PFPs right now, and Clayton gets 3,000 strikeouts, and he's the first one on taking a rep, right? So I think those are things that allow for us to be consistent and not having letdowns, whether it be in a month or a season after a championship season. Yeah.
Dave, are you comfortable with what you've seen defensively out of right field? I mean, has there been any thought at all about moving Mookie back out there?
No thought of moving Mookie back out to right field. And I do think that Teo is more natural in right, but there's got to be improvement. And I think that, some part of it might be the hip, the injury that he had. He says he feels good. There are some 50-50 balls that I think that we can maybe make better plays on. It's certainly not from lack of effort, but I know that, and I believe that he can be better out there. So he's our right fielder, and Mookie's our shortstop.
Do you think that Teoscar looks that much different in right field, outfield in general this year compared with last year?
I think so, and I can't put my finger on it, but the eye test a little bit. Certainly the metrics speak to that. So like I said, we got to get better and just and different facets, and not just right field, just kind of overall. I think defensively, we don't have a staff that's going to strike out a bunch of guys, kind of overall. So, you know, when balls are in play, that we've got to make outs and not give teams extra outs, and that's one thing I'd probably say we could be better at, you know, over the course of so far the 3 months of the season so far.
Bone bruises can linger. Do you see Max, potentially having to manage the injury late in the season when it's healthy enough to play, but perhaps still?
I think so. I think it's probably gonna, to the touch, I think it'll carry on to next year. I think that I've had those, and there's certainly to a point where you can play, but then there's still the part of to the touch, it still gets sensitive. So I think that that's going to be around for a while, unfortunately.
With Dustin May, what were you seeing in his last start, and how are you hoping to just kind of correct some of those wrongs and be back on track?
With Dustin, the first thing I've talked a lot about is his ability to go deeper in games, which he's been consistent with that. He's been better versus left than right, which is really interesting. I think that the sweeper has got to be a more effective pitch. I think his sinker's got to be more effective, putting righties on the ground. I know he's working through some delivery things with the pitching coaches. So I'm kind of like you guys, waiting to see what to expect tonight. But I expect good things from Dustin.
You have a starter for Sunday?
No start for Sunday. Ben will start tomorrow. Shohei will go Saturday, and then Sunday we're still kind of up in the air.
With Ben, is that?
And then still an option for Sunday?
Still an option.
With Ben, is that an honest to goodness, maybe 5 innings start tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we feel good about that. Yes. Even the last one, coming off being sick, still managed to get through 5. So, yeah, I think that he should be able to certainly get through 5 innings, if not beyond.
Kopech, I think he threw a little bit today. And he said he felt good. Do you anticipate him being ready when that IL stint is over?
No, I don't. I don't expect much beyond that, but I don't expect him on the 16th day to be back with us.
And you think you have the break right after, so maybe. After.
Yeah, so I haven't done the math, but sometime after the break, I think that. So it's actually, if you're talking about 4 days that you don't miss games, not a bad time.
Has Tony picked up the baseball yet?
No, hasn't picked up baseball yet.
Is he still feeling some pain then?
You know what? I don't know. I haven't. He's around and doing his Tony things, but as far as picking up baseball, I haven't seen that yet. Once he starts stretching it out, gets to the mound, I think it'll be more clear. But right now, I do know he hasn't picked up a baseball yet.
We're in a pretty large sample size of Mookie's offensive struggles. What do you need to see from him going forward, and when does it kind of become a concern for you?
I wouldn't say it's going to be of concern. It's not, and a track record like that, I would say concern is not really ever going to be on the table. I would think. What would I need to see from him? I think his last swing was a really good one on a breaking ball, drove in the tying run. I just think that just putting good swings, taking walks, which I think if you look at the walk percentage, probably in this kind of, rut that he's in, it's probably much lower than his career. So kind of getting into counts, getting on base and squaring the baseball up, which again, he's only as good as his last one. His last one was pretty good. So hopefully he can build off of that.
How do you anticipate using Ruiz?
So I like him versus left, like him in the corners in the outfield, and should be here tonight. And so we've got McCullers and we got a couple lefties Saturday, Sunday. So Probably see him in there on Sunday, potentially Saturday, but we'll see. Thanks, guys.